Hello everyone, I am Assistant Professor Rushali Ahir and today we are going to discuss the syllabus of fermentation technology for TYBSc students. In fermentation technologies, for the first semester we are going to learn in total 7 chapters in which the first chapter is strain improvement. As you might be knowing what is strain, the strain is a group of species consisting one or more similar characteristics which distinguish them from their subspecies. And when the science and technologies are used for manipulating and improving such strains to increase their metabolic activities, this technique is known as strain improvement. Now, what are the objectives of strain improvement, then which type of methods are used for strain improvement, that we are going to learn in this chapter. And the first important point in this is selection of different types of mutants. The different types of mutants are selected so that they can be used for the production of desired product at larger scale. And these mutants are selected by different types of methods such as replica plating technique, resistance selection methods, then substrate utilization method, carcinogenicity testing, etc. And after this selection, we can also apply the recombinant DNA technology here. Now, what is recombinant DNA technology? In simple word, we can call it as genetic engineering, which involves the isolation and cloning of gene of interest and expressing these genes into the suitable host. And this recombinant DNA technology has a large scale applications in different fields such as in the large scale production of vaccines, enzymes, or even in the production of disease resistant plants, etc. And these all points we are going to learn in chapter 1, which is strain improvement. When the strains are improved, now these strains are, it is necessary to provide them proper media, and these medium, how the optimized media can be provided to such strains, that we are going to learn in second chapter, which is media optimization. Now, when we talk about media optimization, the first important point is classical approach. Now, what is classical approach? When media involves number of nutrients, then temperature, pH, everything are adjusted in fermentation technology. But when we talk about one factor at time or classical approach in full factorial design, it involves changing in the one important variable. We may change pH of the fermentation technology, we can change temperature of fermentation technology, we can also change the anti-foaming agent or nutrient content. By altering this one or more contents, we can observe the production of our desired product. The next point is Plackett-Bowman design. It is nothing but one type of screening technique. It helps us to find out which factor in our experiment is most important. If we know the important factor in our experiment, we can avoid or we can neglect the unnecessary factors used in our experiments or in while producing our product, which may lead to decrease in the cost of production yield. And then the next point is response surface methodology. The response surface methodology, it is also known as RSM, is an experimental method that is useful tool to optimize the parameters of the fermentation process by applying mathematics and statistics. By using different mathematical equations, we can experimentally optimize the different parameters which are used during the process of fermentation. As the media is optimized, the media is properly designed, then the next step in the product production is the sterilization of this media. So the third chapter included in our syllabus is sterilization of media. Now you all might have learned in previously this what is sterilization. Sterilization is complete eradication or removal of microorganism from any particular surface or medium. And there are different methods of sterilization. These methods of sterilization, during fermentation we can perform batch sterilization, in which all the equipments are previously sterilized and a single batch of fermentation assembly is set up till the product recovery. Or we can also perform continuous sterilization by increasing the heat of all the equipment so that the temperature will kill all the unnecessary microbes present in our in our media. Then when all the sterilization technique or sterilization process is completed, it is important to monitor the number of microbes present in it. So the next concept is concept and derivation of Del factor. Now what is Del factor? Del factor is a fractional reduction in viable organism, or it gives us idea how much amount of microbes are actually reduced after the product sterilization process, and it has different types of equations and derivations. That too we will see in our next videos. After the media sterilization, the next, now our media is ready and our strain is also ready. The next important point is our scale up and scale down process. The fourth chapter is our scale up and scale down process. Now what is scale up process and scale down process? Generally in scale up processes, and there are different types of levels used in the fermentation technology. Whenever we have to produce any new product, we have to perform number of experiments at the lab scale. Whenever our experiments are successful and we are able to recover the desired product, we set up a small scale pilot plant where our desired product is produced in smaller quantity, and when it shows a successful result of our production of desired product, then the large scale production plant is set, and these different levels comes under the scale up fermentation processes. And then there are different types of criteria which are necessary to be monitored during these scale up processes. For example, aeration, which is addition of air. Agitation means continuous shaking with the help of shaft. Then brothology and sterilization. It is very important to maintain the sterilized condition during the fermentation or scale up process to avoid the risk of contamination. Then next comes the scale down process, which actually refers to the recovery of products, and these, after the recovery, it is important to know the downstreaming process, and the next point is our principles and methods of downstreaming processes. What is downstreaming processes? After the recovery of our product, it is very important to purify or to remove all the impurities from our desired product, and these impurities, depending on the product, different methods are used to remove our desired products. Now the selection of these methods depends completely on the quality and the quantity of our product. We can use cell disruption method if our product is intracellular, means it is produced inside any particular cell or body or cell of microorganism, then it is very important to break that cell to recover our product. So here we can use cell disruption method, then filtration method. Different types of filters are used to recover the desired product. Then centrifugation, our product is centrifuged at different speeds depending on the product, and our product is recovered easily. Then liquid extraction is there, distillation process, ion exchange chromatography, and even simply by drying also we can recover our product easily. How this Now these methods also contains many sub methods which we will learn one by one in as our syllabus move forward. The next important part is quality assurance of fermentation product. When we recover the product by using different methods, it is very important to check the quality of product, and for detection of the product or for the quantification of product, different methods are used. For example, physicochemical method, biological method, and enzymatic methods are also used. When after this, before coming into the market, the drug or the product or the medicine, depending on the type of product, it has to go number of tests, and we have to check its sterility. We have to check whether the product is any disease causing, where it is toxic to the consumer or to the host body. For this purpose, different methods are used, and those are pyrogen testing, sterility testing, Ames testing, toxicity testing, and also shelf life determination. Shelf life means the from the period from manufacturing till the expiry of the product. Means it tells us about till how much time the product will be remain safe for the use. How these different tests are performed, that too we will learn as one by one. And the next and last most important point is fermentation economics. Whoever may be the producer, the main aim of producing any product is to get high profit, and the fermentation economics exactly deals with the same. Now here we study about recurring and non-recurring expenditures. Now recurring expenditures are, once if we spend money, they are we can earn them back, and some are non-recurring which may lead one-time investment. Then there are some of the intellectual property rights given by the government, and there are 7 important intellectual property rights which give the producer the safety regarding his products. They may include copyright, then which gives the producer the patent, copyright, trademark. Also we can mention the geographical indications, etc. These all points we are going to cover in first semester for in fermentation technology. Thank you.